Hey guys, Huzzy here bringing you another video. Now welcome back to a champion introduction. It kind of just feels like another one. Well, one is getting released once a month now. And maybe that's Riot's plan, I don't know. But this is going to be the Irelia rework. We're going to go over it and give my opinions about it. Because I have a pretty good track record of being correct. I will say that, you know, when Zoe came out, I was concerned about a couple things. That proved correct. When Swain came out, I was one of the very few content creators that said he's actually very strong, and look what's happened now. And I know that's after a couple buffs, but a lot of pros are in the same camp as me. He didn't actually need buffs. People just needed to adjust. So Irelia is the next champion on the block to get changed, and I have watched the introduction to her, and I will say my tweet yesterday basically was, new Irelia looks interesting. Basically looks like a new champion, and past Irelia experience probably won't mean much. She's going to be a brand new champion. Kind of like Swain, that if you're good at the old Swain, it doesn't make you good at the new Swain. And I think that's kind of going to be Irelia as well. But we'll be able to confirm that in this video. So they are, I think, kind of making her lore slightly different. I'm not entirely sure, but they're just making her more like, I know it sounds stupid, but master of blades. Like, she had this big hover blade, but it doesn't seem like she had, like, perfect mastery over it. She was just using it. Well, this is all about her being, like, the master of her blades. Alright, so let's get into it. Same as before, we'll be watching the videos together, then talking about it afterwards. So passive, Ionian Fervor. So some of you recognize the name. Fervor of Battle used to be a mastery, so... hitting enemies with spells grants Irelia stacks of Ionian Fervor for a few seconds. Hitting multiple champions with an ability grants multiple stacks. And basic attacking extends their duration. Each stack adds bonus magic damage to her basic attacks. At max stacks, the bonus damage is increased against shields. Wow. And Irelia also gains attack speed. So yeah, it's kind of like a new Fervor of Battle just for Irelia. It's like her own rune, basically. But let's just see what it looks like, I guess. So there's... Wait, what? There's no indication? No. So there's no actual indication on herself by the looks of it. That is showing her passive ramping up. So there's that. Q. So again, what I'll say, there are some similarities with her. So the Q, I've been told, potentially is going to be pretty much the same. Irelia dashes to a target, dealing physical damage, increased if it's a minion or monster. That may open jungle potential. Applying on-hit effects and healing for a small amount. If the target was marked or dies to Blade Surge, cooldown is refreshed. It's the same, basically. Slight differences. It looks completely different. And one thing just worth noting, that the old Irelia, or the current Irelia, she just Qs to the target, and she'll stay on the side that she Qs to. If you actually look at this Q, it looks like she goes through the target. Through slash on the target. But like there, you can see on the final one, she, because she didn't kill that minion, she landed on the other side of it. So if you're engaging on somebody in your lane and you don't kill them with your Q, you'll go the other side of them by the looks of it. So that's kind of interesting. But yeah, relatively the same. Looks a little bit slower. Also now does pure physical damage and applies on-hit effects, which means Sheen will get activated by it. And that type of thing. So it's interesting. W. Defiant Dance. First cast. Let's just get rid of the circle. Irelia begins charging her blades, losing the ability to move or attack, but gaining significant damage reduction for a brief period. This channel can't be interrupted. Wow. Second cast. Irelia lashes out with her blades, dealing physical damage in a line. The damage is increased as Irelia charges. Oh, right. So that's different than what people thought it was going to be. Everyone thought that this was going to be an absorb and you just throw their damage back at them. And that's where the announcement videos can be a bit deceptive, is because when Katarina, in the video that they announced her, she was fighting Katarina. Katarina was spinning and then Irelia W'd it. And then she threw damage back and then was like, whoa, it's not that at all. So it's literally a Master Yi meditate that then throws damage after it. Alright, so that obviously has nothing to do with current Irelia. This is completely new. Kind of weird, though. Again, she's a mobility champion, and this ability actually is 0 mobility, as in she can't even move when she's using it. So that's kind of interesting. I would I'd presume you can cast the second cast instantly. I don't think it's going to lock you to do it the whole time. And obviously we don't know the damage numbers or anything. We don't, we're not really sure, but it might be an okay ability. I don't think it's going to be her max. I think her Q will probably still be her max, relatively. Or we'll see. But yeah, losing the ability to move or attack but gaining significant damage reduction. I wonder how much, like, is Swain attacking her in this? Again, we can't tell damage numbers specifically. Yeah, so we can't even tell. It would maybe give us a vague idea. Flawless Duet? Sure. Irelia sends a blade to a location and can recast Flawless Duet to send a second blade to another location. The blades will then fly towards one another, dealing magic damage and stunning enemies caught in the crossfire. Flawless Duet also marks champions and large monsters for a few seconds. So, this seems interesting. 1 blade, 2 blade, I presume. And then... Ooh. Okay, that's interesting. Is it... Okay, so by the looks of it, it always gets cast on the second blade. So first blade, and then she can recast, and the moment that the second blade has been cast, it'll then do the stun. It's not like you can have the 2 blades set up and then activate it whenever you want. It looks like it activates on you putting the second blade down, which is still fine. But that's kind of cool. That's gonna be big in team fights. If you can land like a big, like that's a bit like that whole, that I know it's like a thin line, but let's be honest, you can get that quite easily probably on a few people in team fights at a time. Like 2 or 3 people is probably gonna be quite common for her to kill or get a stun, sorry, with Flawless Duet. And then finally the ultimate. Irelia unleashes the full force of her blades in a line. If Vanguard's edge hits an enemy champion, the blades will rotate outward, dealing damage and marking enemy champions and large monsters, and forming a barrier that lasts a few seconds. This blade deals magic damage and significantly slows enemy champions that pass through it. It also disarms them for a few seconds, making them unable to basic attack. Ugh, I've said it for so long that Riot in their, I'd say, past year or so of releasing champions, and if you watch all my videos that I've been doing these, they overload these champions so much. They have so much stuff. If you compare an old champion, it would be like, this ability gives some attack damage and attack speed. Now it's like, it does this, and this, and this, and it's like, Jesus Christ. All right, see what it does. Alright, so this is this big cool thing. Alright. So they're saying... Oh my god, it looks really cool, I'll give them that. So really said the blade... Okay, so if it hits... She throws the blade, it hits Swain, then because it hits Swain, it creates that diamond effect, because it hit a champion. And then the barrier, which is this diamond... will last a few seconds, and these blades will deal magic damage, and any champions that are in them will slow them if they pass through it. And it also causes champions not able to auto-attack. Oh, why is that bit there? Like, that just seems like a little extra thing that it probably doesn't need. It just seems really overloaded. There is such a thing as too much design. 100% there's something as too much design. And but I will say, at the beginning of the video, I hinted at potentially old Irelia experience won't mean much. Yeah. She's a brand new champion. The only similarity that she has is her Q. And even that's a little bit different. But I think most Irelia players... The Q was like the easiest thing to do. The Q wasn't the hard thing of Irelia. The thing with Irelia, what made her, and she wasn't even a difficult champion, but it was comboing effectively and knowing when you can kill people. Like, Irelia's could win fights on very low health if they use their stun WQ combo correctly with the crazy burst from Sheen. That was the skill of Irelia, with also chasing people down and using your old ultimate to get minions low, queuing to a minion to execute it, then queuing onto an enemy champion. It was a lot about comboing and game knowledge. This champion doesn't have any of that. So yeah, again, I've said it before, it's why you shouldn't one-trick, that if someone, for example, only got to Diamond using an Irelia, they're no longer going to be a Diamond Irelia player, because this, again, you could rename this champion something else. You could rename this champion Lily, because it's significantly a different champion. The old Irelia's dead when this champion gets released. But it just so happens to have a similar look and the same name. That's the thing. So, yeah, it's interesting. Playing as Irelia, you dance across the battlefield in a whirl of death, leaping from one enemy to another, devastating choreography, so they're making her like a dance, like a dancer. Use Flawless Duet to initiate the performance. They literally are making her just a dance. This is weird. Slashing at unexpected angles to leave opponents marked and stunned. Rush in as your Ionian fervor rises. That's the attack speed thing. Flowing effortlessly from one mark to the next with Blood Surge, which is her Q. So you can Q to them if they're marked. When enemies attempt to assemble against you, split them apart with Vanguard's Edge. So they're basically trying to make her like really like dashy. And I've already been on the Irelia main subreddit, and a lot of them are actually worried. And they shouldn't. If they enjoy the champion and they enjoy the new rework, great. A lot of them worried that it's basically Yasuo 2.0. It's like Yasuo Fiora had a baby, which technically could be possible, and Irelia is the byproduct of that. And I kind of have to agree. It kind of looks that way. Let's watch. So she's just one-shotting all the minions with her Q, gets engaged on. That was her W that she instant casted back. That's her ultimate. That was a Q to her, and she E'd in the middle of that as well. So I know to a lot of people, they probably wouldn't have been able to see the individual things there, and Q to finish off the guy. I was able to see all of her abilities get used there. Like, the W, and like what I mentioned, is that earlier I was like, I wonder if she can instant recast. Yeah, she instant recast it in here. Like, I'll show you the moment she did it. So, wait for it. Arrow. There, she's in her W. And throws the W damage out to Ashe. It doesn't do any. She's now running away. Flashes away. Then the ultimate comes through with a Q following up onto the Ashe. Then, if you go back in time, she has one blade that goes there, one blade that goes on the Rakan, stuns both of them. She kills the Ashe, and then she'll Q to kill the Rakan. So yeah, I was able to see that, so it's not too quick to notice, and that was my first time ever watching that, and I understood everything that happened. But did you guys? Like, that's the thing. To the average League player, possibly not. Like, that was quite a lot. And I know it was quite a lot. I'm just trained to know what's going on. And to a new player, I think they'll have no idea what's going on. So that's just something worth note. She looks cool, though. You know, you can't deny that. And then all of her skins have been updated, you know, with her new look. Some more than others, obviously. Wait, the biggest question, where's Frostbutt? Hey, it's still in the game. We're okay, everybody. Frostbutt Irelia is still in the game. They made the pose of the Frost skin still with the butt. They know why we play this game. I will actually say that's kind of funny. Like, they've kept the meme, if you will, alive. Like, look at all her skins. I know this is weird to talk about, but the butt's facing away. Butt's not towards the camera. Nope. Nope. The only skin that is the one that has the meme behind it. So I'll give Riot some bonus points for that, because that's just kind of funny. But that's it. That's Irelia. Let me know what you think. Honestly, again, this is just first impressions of the release. She looks interesting. Again, like my quote is that she's a Fiora and Yasuo had a baby. Fiora was the Irelia was the byproduct of that. Past Irelia experience, I don't think is going to mean anything, because only one ability, the Q, is the same, and that ability was the most basic of Irelia, so it doesn't really matter. So she's basically a brand new champion. So yeah, I'm interested. By looking at like her kit and stuff, I think her item build is basically going to be the same as it is now. Triforce with potentially Blade of the Ruin King for attack speed and then tank. That's kind of what it looks like. But interesting. A lot of people have said, OP, she's overpowered. I don't know. I don't think so. Again, it's hard to judge this early into the stage. I wouldn't call something overpowered that early, but again, I've got a very good track record of judging stuff. You know, the past couple years I've been quite good at doing it. I don't put her in overpowered category. I will put her in the same category as Fiora, by the looks of it. Again, in order to know more, I need to know her damage numbers. I need to know how much she scales, because that would depend if she builds damage or goes more tank. But as for her kit, her spells, it looks overloaded. There's a lot going on. To me, there's some stuff that potentially they did just for the sake of it. Like, all this stuff. Oh, and they also can't auto-attack. Like, that's maybe a bit too much, but I don't know. It's interesting. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Because, yeah, it's another new champion. It does seem Riot is really upping their game in 2018. We've already had, what, 2 champion releases in 2018? I think Zoe came out in 2018, and we've had Kai'Sa and Swain. We're in month 3, and we may have already had 3. I'm not sure. It's something like that, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, let me know in the comments. Like the video if you like this style, and also like the video if you want me to play her as soon as she comes out on the PBE. Because it won't be far from, you know, they've announced her. She'll be on the PB probably in a few days, or maximum a week. But yeah, like that. Let me know. See you guys next time. See ya.